This impressively detailed watch is not just very distinct, but also supremely versatile. But most important of all, it affected me in the most unexpected way possible. Let's begin by showing you this. Hopefully it focuses. I don't know how many times I took this shot. But here, I'm showing you an extra hole added onto this Artem sailcloth strap. Now, why would someone add an extra hole onto this beautifully crafted strap? Well, because my wife wanted to make sure that her quote unquote straps would actually fit this beautiful new manual wine watch, the Constellar Origin. Now, in this video, you'll see how this watch can seamlessly dress himself up and down with the many different personalities and elements to it. And at the same time, you'll see how it turned my wife into a watch enthusiast. Now, many of you are actually wishing for that, but this is the only advice that I could tell you guys. Be careful what you wish for. When you read the Our Story section of this brand's website, you'll notice that this came from the ashes of two failed attempts to launch their own watch. I don't know why they failed. Their initial offerings were actually pretty decent. If ever, I'm starting to think that Kickstarter has been infested with Woodstock ravers masquerading as watch snobs. This latest offering from Constellar is certainly a winner by the eye test alone. Right off the travel case, this watch looks and projects itself on the smaller side at 38mm with a lug distance of 44.5. Count in the compressed lugs and female end links, and you have one compact and diminutive watch. It has a great display case back that features a nicely finished manual wine Swiss movement as well. Now let's shove my filthy hands to further emphasize the compact impression of this watch. See, this 6.25-inch wrist feels very comfortable with this 38mm beauty. That's all part of the design. Edgar and Song, sounds like a band that would play in Woodstock by the way, designed the Origin to fit smaller cuffs. For me personally though, it's a double-edged sword in an angle I did not expect. You'll soon find out. See, I know myself, despite my reckless YouTube persona may imply. I love touching my watches, I love winding them, I love changing straps, I love taking them to lunch. Don't pretend you don't know, I know you know. Henry West 7217 says that it's kinda Parmigiani-esque. I can see that. Those skeletonized Dauphine hands, the somewhat circular logo, and the flat horn lugs lends to that appeal. The Origin just submits to all your whims. Yes, it's that gorgeous damsel that every watch pirate dreams of. The one that you bring to the bar, knowing that everyone would look at her rather than your dashing, swashbuckling looks. Or maybe just buckling looks, depending on which side of the bed you landed on. It's a definite looker, but it also demands your interaction. You have to set and wind it all the time, and here you'll notice no quick release spring bars. I wish they had that, but now I need to have an extra tool to swap bracelets out. But that's okay. I always encourage working extra hard for an even better experience. Once the bracelet is off though, you can dress this watch down with relative ease. It's unexpectedly versatile. It's like finding out that Charlize Theron can absolutely stun you both on the red carpet and on the Fury Road. While you're seeking some action, a rugged yet luxurious strap is in order, and Artem's latest Hydroflex bands will fit the bill. I've done this countless times and it never gets old. This one really brings out the case in full display while providing an easier texture to enjoy. Of course, the quick release spring bars contribute greatly on the convenience side. Less time to install means more time to stare at the timepiece. On the wrist, Artem's signature comfort fit makes for a comfortable fit. No explanation needed there. Because of the shorter lug distance, straps that would normally not fit my significant other may actually fit her now. It's still a bit too modern casual, so let's try something a little bit more vintage. Let's put on this wise leather strap and see it transform. It's a mixed bag, I should say, as the case works good enough with the strap, but the dial is a bit too unconventional for this familiar strap. But the dial collar pulls everything together by outshining the rest of the piece. Notice too how the outer dial perimeter connects with the stitching of the leather. This is a hint of the versatility of this watch. The secret is the blend of that radio green dial and the matte beige chapter ring. These colors become points of reference for your strap options. So when you install a green strap, the watch welcomes this choice with open arms. Now, it has a cool, natural personality to it. Another consideration is the clasp that can be used on this case. There's a certain flair to a leaf spring clasp, and having it here gives the setup a little finesse. Now, let's add a beige band and see how it connects with the chapter ring seamlessly. You can even forget that these two straps are cerecloth straps, as the colors overpower the whole configuration. One thing I won't forget is this hole that's installed by my wife in a desperate and crude attempt to make anything fit her small wrist. Actually, all of the straps that I showed you were all her choices. The Origin had a certain attraction to her that she quite literally raided my treasure chest and owned this watch in a hostile takeover. And here she is demanding me to throw it on her wrist. She's also telling me off camera that if I don't zoom in, I'll be beheaded, my torso will be fed to the sharks, and my head will be part of her ship's bow. Taking a closer look at the details will give us a lot of insight to the attractiveness of the Constellar Origin. Here we see the lessons learned by its creators. Their initial offering, the Epoch, was very safe to say the least. The foundations were laid though, as it takes on that classical dressy case in consideration for the Origin. The oversized conical crown works great as the classical tone hits its mark. We are treated to a day and date complication of dial that delivers a lovely little taste of horology. When rotating the crown counterclockwise, you are able to enjoy the day complication that's also color matched to the chapter ring. All 5 versions of the Constellar Origin have the same day wheel color that's custom to this watch. The date wheel is also matched to the inner dial, so there's 5 variants of that. I love these little details, but I can imagine these adds to the cost. On the bracelet, we have this attention-grabbing diamond pattern that becomes the geometric theme of the watch. GQ Warren says that the case and bracelet looks very busy, and I do agree that it does. I imagine that these diamond patterns could be toned down a bit, but then it could completely change the personality of the Origin. The sides are a bit more reserved, but there's still some bead blasting on the center lugs and a matte blasted sign crown to keep you entertained. I just love these flaring out lugs and its polished frame surface. From the back, we're treated to a great view of the 240-1M caliber from Sellita. This, of course, is a decorated or elaborate version of the seldom seen movement. The dial here carries the diamond indexes of the Starseeker model that failed to get funded. This is a spectacular choice from the brand, as this really defines the look of the Origin. Constellar had to commission a custom mold to achieve this kind of floating diamond look. This, however, does not please everyone. Horology says that the indices are unproportionately wide. Well, I disagree with that pirated assessment, as I feel that the wide open spaces in between the chapters are more than enough to relax your eyes. Jim Kincaid remarks that they look like sesame seeds plucked from a McDonald's Big Mac bun. Very classy, Jimmy. One likely casualty of this design is the date window. Fate Equinox mentions that the day window is small and sunken in, making it hard to see. I think he meant the date wheel, but I can see what he's saying. The caliber from the back is very beautiful to look at, with its Côte d'Ivoire flaunting its stripes and the perlages on the plates shining through. It seems that every single part of this watch is impressively decorated. This definitely includes the bracelet. This may be the most divisive part of the watch, but I cannot deny its unique light play. It's extraordinary, and it also extends all the way to the clasp. It's as photogenic as can be, but I must admit I've had this watch worn more without the bracelet than it is installed. To me, the most important achievement of this watch is likely one that's found outside the watch itself. See, my wife used to not share my enthusiasm with watches. She was perfectly fine with her soulless Apple Watch, as Mr. Zelos may put it. But then she started to wear my G-Shocks and then my smaller Zelos. Her ownership of this Constellar Origin marks the shift in her interest, the one that finally pushes her off the edge. It is appropriately called the origin. The origin of her talking about the watch like it's part of her neatly organized kitchen or an invaluable companion of her coach shoulder bag. Now she just doesn't shut up. It's also my fifth recount of my strap inventory. So thank you, Constellar, I guess, for designing this smaller watch for one particularly petite watch pirate lady. At least I still get to wind this every other day. And that is the Constellar Origin. It's a beautiful manual wind watch. It may be excessive on some parts, but this compact design is so desirable and just well made, especially for smaller wrists. Now, if you have a larger wrist, it's may not fit you or may not fit your style all the time, but it seamlessly transitions from this very sporty and elegant metal bracelet into anything dressy and casual, all in between, with just the strap changing. It's a pity that they didn't use any quick release spring bars on this, but I guess that's not much of a big deal, you know. But this female end link really wears nicely on the wrist, really designed for smaller wrists, and that beautiful dial also is quite unique and has its own distinct flavor. Yeah, well, you know what? We toss around unique very liberally, at least I do. I'm a watch pirate and I do not apologize for that, and also that shows my lack of vocabulary at the same time. But you've never seen a watch style like this. I mean, like, come on, you've got to admit that. But again, that's the Constellar Origin, another beautiful Microbrand watch that we're featuring this year so far. So far, all of the watches that we've seen are beautiful on 2024, and that's a very promising endeavor. Now, I don't know how promising my watch enthusiast partner would be, who's currently enjoying other watches, but so far this is one of her favorites. So comment down below, let me know what you think, let me know all of your painful journeys and remarks about that constant wishing that your wife would also share your hobby. Let me know down below and let's talk about it. Or maybe let's not talk about it. It's just reminding me of how she punctured this sailcloth strap. I'm still mad about that.